You ready to do this?
Let's get it.
All right, let's go. Woo! That was good! All right, I'm Jess, and this right here is...
Kafele.
And we are going to be talking about some really crazy experiences. Woo! Okay, we have no idea what stories we're gonna tell, but we're kind of gonna just bounce off of each other. We're gonna be talking about sharing some drunk horror stories from our past. I am about to be 4.5 years sober. I take substance abuse and alcoholism very seriously. We are going to be discussing some events that deal with substances, and if you are not comfortable listening to that, then just switch over to another channel. And then watch our other videos that have nothing to do with drugs or alcohol. Obviously the point of this video is one, to just like be open and share about our experiences, but at the same time I want you to be safe. If you are going to be drinking, drink responsibly. Do you have anything to share before we start sharing?
Nope. Let's get it.
Okay, we're gonna get it. So there are a few, I can tell you right now, there are a few drunk horror stories that I can share with you. I'll just give you, I'm gonna just start spitting out some experiences, but not like in full detail, and then see if that triggers anything for him, and then have him share first. So you can tell us a story about getting super wasted and having a really embarrassing moment with somebody intimately. You can tell us about, I urinated myself once in the backseat of a car after drinking way too much on my 21st birthday. That was fun. I have had experiences with some really, really toxic, crazy exes where things were getting tossed around, things were getting broken, doing wild stuff while driving the car and drinking. I was not driving, but I was definitely pretty drunk. Does any of this register for you as a good starting point for a story?
Yeah, all of it does.
Okay, so I'm gonna let Kafele start sharing, and then yeah, I'm just gonna probably like ask you questions, and hopefully we can pull a lesson from whatever he's sharing. Let's do it.
Okay, well actually a couple of the things that you just mentioned have happened to me also. I'll tell you about one that was embarrassing. I was on a date with this girl. We went out a couple times before this particular date. We decided to go listen to some music at this club in New Orleans, right? And so what happened was, I was either in college or, I think I was in college, pretty sure I was in college. And I didn't know about drinking alcohol in an empty stomach and what would happen if I did that. And so what happened
How did you not know this by the time you were in college? Were you a big drinker? There you go.
I didn't start drinking until I was in a senior in high school, pretty much.
Okay.
That's when I started drinking.
Okay, yeah, you definitely started late.
This was my experience and my lesson, I would say, I guess, in terms of how I learned not to do that, at least not to this degree. So what happened was, it was me, my date, and her friend. Her friend was actually hot too. Oh. That's another story.
Excuse me?
But what happened was, so we went to go listen to some music, and I remember I was drinking tequila sunrises, and they were very strong. There was a lot of tequila at them.
Tequila's what screwed me at my 21st birthday.
Tequila, I have stories about that. So I drank a few of them, and I was wasted on the date. But I remember getting in the car on the way back. I wasn't driving, my date was driving, and I believe her friend was in the front seat and I was in the back seat. And I knew, like when we started moving, I started feeling sick. Oh. But I was trying to, this is so nasty. I was trying to like not be an idiot and throw up. So I tried my best to hold it in. But what happened was
I don't know what that sound was. I sounded like an old man. I was like, oh.
That's exactly how I sounded that night. I'm telling you, man. So I remember thinking, there's no way that I'm going to be able to hold this in. And I remember thinking and saying, stop the car. We were on the highway, mind you. And I said, stop the car. And I said it in a very calm voice.
Right,
and they were like,
right.
What?
Because you were about to vomit.
And I was like, stop the...
That was hilarious. Okay. So you threw up everywhere.
Threw up all over her car, all over the car. And now, I don't remember.
Was this your first date?
No, we've been out a couple of times.
Okay, so has she ever seen you this intoxicated and vomiting
No.
like that? Okay.
No.
And you just waited until the very last second to
Yeah,
say
because
that.
I was trying to. I thought I could handle it because I had never really.
Oh, God.
I had never gotten to that point where I threw up from being drunk.
Yeah.
Before, at that point in my life.
This reminds me of this one situation. It wasn't me. It was a kid that was in the backseat of my ex's car in college, and okay, even thinking about it, he was like, "Guys, roll down the window," and barely made it out the window and threw up. It was all over his face.
Oh,
it was
no.
all over the side of the car. When we got to the house, the entire car, I almost threw up from the smell.
Right.
And then we looked outside and he was laughing. He was laughing. He had dried chunks of vomit on his face.
That's terrible.
And the side of the car, I can't even thinking about it. It was so bad. Anyway, so that's what I got from this one. Okay.
Yeah, man, but it was super, super embarrassing.
But what happened after you threw up?
Now, I don't remember this part, but I remember her telling me this the next day.
Oh.
She said, after I threw up, she said, "You just threw up in my car?" And I said, "Don't worry, I'll buy you another one." I was so drunk. It was horrible. It's horrible. Isn't that terrible?
Did you ever see her again?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't stop seeing each other because of that. And I don't remember if this was the same night or not, but I think it was. I went back to her place, pissed in her bed.
Wait, you gotta tell it right though. So it's not like you just pissed in her bed. Listen to this.
Yeah, I was obviously
What happened? So you slept there.
I slept at her place.
Okay, so this girl watched this man throw up all over himself and the backseat of a car and still let his ass sleep in her bed. I'm just saying, she's a little angel, that one.
Yeah, she was.
Okay, so this happens. How did it get to that point?
So she took me in to her place. She must have even taken off my clothes and put me in her bed. Very sweet. But I remember waking up in the morning to myself pissing in the bed.
My heart goes out for that girl.
It was horrible, man.
But didn't you guys end up still seeing each other?
We saw each other.
I am so impressed by that. Honestly, okay, if you were dating someone for what, a couple of weeks?
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks. It wasn't that long.
Okay, so you're dating someone for a couple of weeks. They vomit in your car. You take them home. They piss in your bed. Do you continue dating them? Write it in the comments down below. Write it in the comments down below. I'm going to share a story about a time where I was involved with a guy who was currently in prison for attempted murder. Let's just put that out there. And he was really drunk. I was drunk as well. We were using substances all night as well. So we were just on our own little, we were in our own little fucking world, okay? I started to feel sick already. I wanted to go home because it was super late. I think it was like, at this point, I think that we were out all night. I'm pretty sure it was like the morning time. Like it was like 6 or 7 a.m. and we were just getting in, right? We got to my apartment. I wanted him to leave and he was not having it because he was too drunk and I couldn't go to sleep. But I was like, I can't, we can't do this. You need to go home. And he wouldn't leave. So we started arguing and we were standing in front of a 55-inch flat screen television. And let's just say this is the TV. And this is the guy's head. And I'm right here shouting back and forth to him, you need to go or just lay down and go to sleep. But he's really angry. He's pissed off about something that he's, let kind of like bubble up in his mind. And he's like angry and he's screaming at me and I'm telling him to stop and blah, blah, blah. And he gets so angry that he takes his head and he smashes it.
His own head?
His own head.
Oh, wow.
Smashes it into the television. And I'm just like completely frozen in fear. And I look at him and I see blood.
Dang, it was that bad?
Yeah. Oh, he broke my TV. He had to replace it.
Oh, wow.
He had to replace the whole TV because there was like literally a big circle and it led to like those like extended cracks.
Right.
everywhere around the TV, and it was insane. But he smashed his head, and then he started bleeding, and I was like, you're bleeding. Like, I was so, like, in shock that he did that. And guys, that wasn't it. He wasn't done there. After he smashed his head into the TV, he decided he wanted to pick up my toaster oven and throw it. And then he took my alarm clock and broke it. And then he went in the fridge and started grabbing beers and throwing them. And it was just like, and the only reason, and I was wasted at this point, and like, this guy would never have been able to get back to my house if I wasn't as intoxicated as I was, because I let it get to that point. You will do silly things. You'll probably likely do things that you'll regret. You'll say things that you probably don't mean in the moment. And I was just adding fuel to the fire, because that's just how I was when I was drunk. So I didn't get into like my emotional, like, crying, I can't handle this state until after he started acting crazy. Then I was like, oh my God, because I was just doing what he was doing, and I was being aggressive and needing to be right. And I was like, get the fuck out of my house, and like freaking out. And it wasn't this is the freaking kicker to this story. The guy who lived above us, who rented out this apartment to me, was a retired cop.
Wow.
So he came downstairs banging on the door like, what is going on? And I'm like, we're gonna go to jail. Like, I'm like freaking out, and I'm like, you need to calm down. Don't let him see your head. Don't let him see your head. And I'm like freaking out. And then I'm like, okay, just talk like normal. I can't even imagine how freaking insane I looked to this retired cop at the time, because I was so wasted. We did not get any sleep. We were up till 7 a.m, and I am just like trying to get this kid out of my house. I can't get him out of my house. And now this cop, who's renting out this apartment to me, heard everything and is like, what's going on? And I'm like, I go to answer the door. I'm like, hi, I'm so sorry. We had a disagreement, but everything's fine. Everything's fine. I'm so sorry. And he's like, this is not acceptable. Da 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 da. You guys cannot be screaming like this. And I was like, he's sleeping right now. Everything's gonna be fine. Like, I'm literally like whispering to this guy. Like, I was hysterical, but I was trying to keep it together.
What was he doing?
Oh, he was standing. I guess he was just standing in the apartment. Like, he didn't want to go to fucking jail again.
Right.
He was on probation. Listen. Anyway, so he ended up leaving. Then, I mean, the cop ended up leaving, and that is the only reason he calmed down, because he knew he was a cop, and because he was on probation and didn't want to go to jail again. And as soon as that guy left, he just like completely switched off and was like, I'm out. And he left. This
is a story about the first time that I got drunk, and it could have been on the scary side, but luckily the way things played out, it played out in our favor. What happened was, this was right after I graduated from high school as a junior, so it was that summer.
Oh, you were so young.
Yeah.
Okay.
So me and my friend, I had a friend who we used to always do dumb, just crazy stuff together. And yeah, actually just saying this is reminding me of some flashbacks of all this other drunk stories that we had too. But long story short, this was our first night. We just not graduated, but finished the 11th grade. We went to like a house party. Now this was the plan. My family knew his family very well, so I told my mom I was going to spend the night at his house. He told his mom we were going to spend the night at another friend's house. And what happened was, everybody was cool with it. But so we go to this party thinking we're going to crash here. We can drink what the fuck we want. We can do what we want. Nobody's going to know. But in the middle of the night, his mom called him and said, William, I'm getting a bad feeling. I want you to come home now. And we both were like, oh no, because he had driven. He was drunk, I was drunk. So what happened was...
You thought you were going to stay at that house?
Yeah, but that was the plan. We were supposed to stay over there, and that's the reason why we drank so much. And mind you, this is my first night actually being drunk. I had alcohol before that night, but it was only beer, and I only had like a slight buzz. But this night I was like, I want to feel it. I want to feel the heat. So I started drinking tequila, shots. And I was
tequila.
Yeah,
tequila. I have some crazy tequila stories. Go ahead.
So what happened was, I remember throughout the night I kept drinking, and I was sitting like this. We were sitting at a table playing cards or some shit, and I remember thinking, I don't feel anything. And I just kept taking shots. And then I remember all of a sudden I stood up, and I'm like, oh, I guess I am a little drunk, right? Now, mind you, this was right before, my friend's moms, told him that we had to go back to their house. So I didn't want to go back. I was thinking about not leaving. Well, my friend was there. He was drunk. She had to drive. Well, he didn't have to drive, but I'm saying, that we didn't know what else to do.
So he drove.
And the thing is, he was drunk. And I'm smiling a little bit about this, but trust me when I tell you, I was so scared. I made sure to put my seatbelt on. I made sure he had his on. And what scared me the most was he just didn't care. I remember him driving like not necessarily, he wasn't staying in his lane. And then when I commented to him, I'm like, William, you have to pay attention and stay in your lane. Jokingly, he started swerving all over the highway and laughing. I was scared shitless.
Oh my God, this is awful.
It's terrible. But what happened was, this was a blessing. While he was doing that.
Can we just say before you say this?
Yes.
Do not, under any circumstances, I don't care, under any circumstances, do not drink and drive.
Absolutely.
Call your parents, call a friend, call a cab, get on a train, get on a bus. There is absolutely no reason ever to get behind the wheel of a car if you were drinking. Just
Absolutely.
don't. I don't care how young you are. Be smart. Be smart. Don't use the excuse that you're young. You think that you can handle it. You've only had 1 or 2 drinks. Please don't. This just triggered something for me because that is just so scary that you were in that car.
Right.
And it just makes me, I'm so happy that you're here today, but that literally did get me a little upset. Don't let your friends drive. Don't let your family drive. Don't. If they've had 1 or 2 drinks, I don't care. Get in an Uber. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah, so he starts swerving because he thinks it's funny because he's young and stupid.
And he didn't. I don't think he realized even how drunk he was, or just didn't care. One or the other.
Oh my God.
And what happened was, as he was swerving around, he was doing that right in front of a police station.
And you didn't get pulled over?
No, we did get pulled over, and I was so grateful. I was so happy when that cop pulled us over, because then I knew he couldn't drive anymore.
Oh my God.
And mind you, we weren't that far from his house, but who knows what would have happened if we continued driving. And so what happened was, and this let me know how drunk he was too. The cop pulled us over. William was like still joking around, laughing. He wasn't even listening to what the cop was saying. The cop was getting pissed off, and I could see it. And it was to the point where the cop was like, listen to what I'm telling you. I'm not gonna say this again. And he was still joking around. He finally did do the sobriety test. He failed, and the cop still let us drive, but only to the police station, which was like a couple blocks from where we were. And then we had to call our parents. So he called his parents. Actually, I didn't call mine.
I can't.
And look, no, listen to this.
His mother knew.
Even still,
knew.
well, then, yeah, his mom. They told his mom and dad.
No, but I mean, she called him and asked him
she
to
knew
come
about something
home.
was wrong.
She said something was wrong.
No, she should have just if she had said nothing, we would have been cool. That never would have happened. But long story short, yeah, you brought up a good point though about not ever driving drunk or even letting your friends do it. And at the end of the day, we both our reasoning was that we don't want to get in trouble. We don't want our parents to know we were drinking. But we weren't even thinking about what could
dying
happen.
Or
Absolutely.
killing someone else.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, if you're young and you're doing
sitting here not trying to, I'm so sorry. I'm sitting here saying this to him because that really just for me, that made me feel so emotional because I know he was scared in that car. But I've done that. I've been the person behind the wheel, and I've also been the person letting someone that I care about drive while we're both wasted and intoxicated, and it's just, oh guys,
it's not fun.
It's not. You were scared.
I was,
but he wasn't affected.
He was totally oblivious to anything.
That's how drunk he was.
Yeah, and he was still laughing and joking, even under the circumstances where he shouldn't have been. And because I was drunk too, the shit was still funny. The shit he was doing and saying. He's a funny dude automatically, even without alcohol. And when he was
what was he saying?
All types of shit. Well, let me tell you just one thing that he said that had me floored. Oh man. So his mom and dad came in the station. Obviously they were very upset to be getting called that late at night by police, telling them to come pick your son up from the police station. So his dad came in fuming, yelling at him, pointing at him. And the whole time he was looking at his dad. And then he waved his dad's hand out of his face and said, I don't want to hear it, Dad. Yo, when he said that, I fell out laughing. It was so funny. But the cop didn't like it. And he said, if you do that again, you spending the night in jail. And then he kind of calmed down at least a little bit.
Why did he think he wasn't spending a night in jail? Because the guy was
the cop told him, the cop told us, our parents were going to have to come get us and they could take us home.
Because they knew how young you guys were.
Yeah, and they knew we were
So you were
drinking.
underage drinking.
Were we underage?
I thought you were senior in high school. Did I miss that?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, you're right. I think we were underage. Come to think of it.
Yeah, if you weren't at least a sophomore in college.
No. But the drinking age in Louisiana used to be 18.
Oh, Louisiana. Okay.
Used to be 18. So I don't remember if we were underage drinking or not. But still, we weren't making the wisest
that
decisions.
story just messed me up. Okay, we gotta end it. We gotta end our drunk horror stories with like one that isn't so scary. That was like, okay. Oh, that story got me shook. I'm just so happy you guys didn't crash.
Yeah,
He's okay. Are you still friends with him today?
I haven't talked to him in a little while, but
yeah,
we're still cool though. Yeah.
Is he doing well with his life?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Okay, I feel like he's just.
I mean, he's doing okay, I guess. But I've heard some stories from some people too that.
Okay.
He's doing good though. He's doing good.
Okay, so 21st birthday. Guys, listen, I know how exciting it is to turn 21. I was there. Just please be careful. Please just don't hang out with random people. Make sure you're with a group that you can trust, that's not going to let you just wander off with a stranger. Don't overdrink. It's not worth it. You won't remember your birthday if you do. I don't really remember my birthday. A lot of it is from what people told me after the experience. And I definitely do remember this one thing, which is probably like stands out to me more than anything. So my birthday is in December, so it's definitely like snowing on the ground. It's cold out. I'm with like 3 or 4 of my closest friends. We decided we're gonna go to a club in the city. We've literally been partying together since we were 15. We've been going to clubs with my sister's fake ID since we were literally 15. This is just what we do. So we go to the club and I tell the bartender, I tell him it's my 21st birthday. So he's like, I'm going to hook you up with drinks all night. I'm like, yay. Why? Why is a bartender just serving back-to-back shots to a 21-year-old tequila? Non-stop, just serving. What did he think was going to happen? Did you think I was going to be okay after you just kept serving me free freaking tequila shots all night? Does he actually think that me, this little ass girl, and mind you, I'm like I'm less than I'm now. I'm 120 pounds right now. I was 20 pounds lighter then. So just... Okay, so I don't even know at this point. I don't remember how many shots I took, but all I remember and what the girls told me this is the night I not only urinated myself, that was fun, but I got kicked out of the club. And I used to get kicked out of the club a lot. I wonder why. It was either I was fighting with someone or I was so drunk that I started fighting with people that worked there. And I started fighting with the bouncer.
Oh, wow.
Because he was like, you need to relax, you need to chill.
Physically fighting with him?
Yeah, I started like, he's huge, but I was like, don't get in my face. I'm like this tiny ass, I'm literally 5 feet tall. I used to think I was so grown when I was just acting like a child. I used to think I was so grown. So I was wasted and he was basically trying to cut me off. And I was not having it. I'm like, nobody tells me what to do, blah, 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 like, shut the f*** up. And I'm just like, this is me, like, yo. And he's just like, I'm going to take this little girl, I'm going to get her out of here. And basically that's what he did. He had to pick me up and put me over his shoulders and walk my ass the fuck out of there. And it was freezing outside and I had to wait for the girls and then we had to like I don't remember, it was a crazy night. Oh yeah, no. I waited for the girls and then they were so upset because they still wanted to party. I'm like, it's my birthday though, let's go somewhere else. But I was too far gone, so they were like, Jess, we gotta take you home. And I just remember waking up and it was literally warm all under my butt. And I didn't realize it until my friend's girlfriend was like, Jessica, why are you wet?
Were you at your own house?
I was in the backseat of her car and they were dropping me off at my house. Right. And I was like, literally, I could not speak. I just remember I was like, they had to carry me into the house and she was, I just remember like, it's like an echo of like, oh, I almost said my friend's name. It was like, she peed herself. I think she peed herself. Oh my God, we have to change her. And like, Thank you to that girl, man. My friend's ex-girlfriend, she took care of me that night. Listen, drink responsibly. You do not need more than 2 fucking tequila shots to have a good time.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you, not getting behind the wheel if you're drinking.
That's a big one, the number one.
What else?
Also, don't drink on an empty stomach because it can affect you in a very bad way.
Oh, yes it can. Yes it can. Don't drink on an empty stomach. Go ahead.
Also, just like you said too, being mindful of the fact that sometimes it takes alcohol a while to really impact you. And so if you drink too quickly in terms of like taking shot after shot, you might think, oh, I just took 4 shots and I don't even feel anything. Mm-hmm. But if you wait for
it's
10
there,
minutes,
honey.
they'll all kick in, and
it's there.
You've had too much, you know. I'll tell you something. I mean, relative to that, in terms of knowing your limit, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes it's hard to gauge what your limit is until you've crossed it. But a good way to avoid that is to just drink slowly. If you know that you've had 2 or 3 shots. Mm-hmm. You know, then don't take.
Wait it out.
Yeah, wait it
out.
See how it
Sip
affects
on
you.
some beer. If you're gonna drink, look. For me, I would say don't drink, don't do drugs. Yeah. Honestly, I did it. People want to experiment. I get it, but my life is a million times better now that I'm sober. Look, at the end of the day, you're gonna do what you want to do. Just be smart about it. Just be wise. Be responsible. Don't make mistakes that are gonna affect you for the rest of your life.
Or other people. Too.
Or other people.
Absolutely don't, right?
Do not.
A lot of people who are watching this, if they're younger, they think about, the repercussions. What I'm trying to say is they don't necessarily weigh out how dangerous it is. I mean, listen, I'm alive now.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that one accident.
Somebody was watching.
If we had an accident, who knows what would have happened? Absolutely, yeah.
So I hope that by sharing those stories, you can learn not to make the same mistakes that we did. I want to say thank you guys if you're still here, for staying this long and for watching the whole video. Just feel free to comment down below. Subscribe if you like what you saw, and please hit the like button because it's free and it helps me out. I think that's it.
Kafele out.
Kafele out! Sober Warrior out! Wait, let's do our handshake. You got this? Alright, we're out. Stay beautiful always. Welcome back.
This is a test, right?
No!
Take 437, you know what I'm saying?
That's all I got for you today. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more.